So we have a music bite set. I got the oh my god! Yeah, she did. Got broken. This thing is called
They were having a race, and on windy days, people's head could fly. Remember how we had security camera TV we would stack chairs and kept sharp cameras.
So cut up the place like a Spaniard.
Wait to grow up.
Oh, that's good. Oh, stop. It is it.
The evil doctor's chemical reagents
I
instantly gained superpowers.
gas.
The doctor
Gas.
managed to keep it in the
Gas.
laboratory
Oh,
space.
this.
The dog smashed through a 10-meter.
A man suddenly realized that he had spent 108 dangerous days on Mars. He did everything in his power to send his news to Earth. After a lot of searching, he found the Pathfinder rover launched in 1970. Many years had passed. He did not know whether it would work or not, but he did not give up on returning to Earth.
Oh, shit.
And the old device buried in dust started working. Its signal receiver was connected to a nearby space station. Soon staff at the Space Center on Earth realized that the Pathfinder was working. Now they could connect to this machine on Mars. Mark saw that the Pathfinder started moving on its own, but this was a very old machine. The distance between Earth and Mars was so great that it took 30 minutes to
at the
get
tape.
there. Then Mark understood that he had been connected to the Space Center on Earth. He returned to the base, took some whiteboards, and wrote simple words on them. Then he hung the board in front of the camera. Half an hour later, people on Earth saw him. They could only talk by rotating the camera, but the contact was established. Mark thought of a way to communicate quickly. He made a circle on the Pathfinder, and in some distance placed the words on which letters were written. The Space Center on Earth was the same. They would rotate the camera and choose a letter, and Mark would note it. Then he would instantly decode and understand the complete message. But this took a lot of time. It would take hours for a single sentence. The scientists at the Space Center found a solution. They taught Mark to change the code of Pathfinder in 2 days. He got directly into communication. Now the Space Center could talk without interruptions. Seeing all this, all the people at the Space Center gathered. They were surprised to see Mark's courage. They had to tell him that he would have to stay alone on Mars.
Just fight him back and
Until
back.
then, they could start the new mission, Ares 4. Mark had a lot of potatoes, which could last him for a year. The Space Center said that they would send a rocket to help him survive the next 4 years. But things did not happen like that. That very night, Mark was in the lab. The pressure channel malfunctioned. The lab was already damaged, due to which the pressure inside and outside was separated. Suddenly, there was a huge explosion, which broke Mark's helmet, and oxygen also started leaking. He immediately saved his life by sealing the helmet with tape, but as soon as the cold air entered the lab, everything was covered with ice, and his cooking was also finished, as all the potatoes rotted. Mark gave this news to the Space Center. Now the situation became very serious. The Space Center speeded up the construction of the rocket. After a month, the rocket was ready. Mark had only 400 days of food left. The rocket was launched without checking. If everything went well, he would have got food on time. The rocket was launched, and everyone was happy. But soon it was discovered that there was a strange vibration in the rocket. Before anything could be done, the rocket exploded. The launch failed due to haste. By the time a new rocket was made, Mark would have died of hunger, due to which everyone was disappointed. On the 147th day, Mark got the news of the rocket failure, due to which he gave up hope of living. When the food was over, he was just waiting for death. But then the Chinese Space Center offered help. They had a secret mission Suryatan, which had a powerful booster, with which he could reach the orbit of Mars quickly, due to which they decided to help by leading their mission. The scientists made a better plan. China's booster would deliver food and fuel to the Hermes spacecraft, which was returning to Earth, after which Hermes would turn back towards Mars. When Hermes would reach the orbit of Mars, Mark would go into space through his flight spacecraft and join it. The man suddenly realized that he
Speed has now beaten Daniel Labelle. Daniel had been training hard for 1 month. He ran on roads, in the sand, in the forest, and even
I
in
miss
the
your
water to
pizza.
try and beat Speed. This time the race was fair. It was on a real track, and both of them wore running shoes with spikes. The race was 80 meters long. It wasn't like the race with Ashton. This one was friendly and full of respect. Speed said he had a small injury, but he was still ready. He even said, if I lose, I won't make excuses. When the race started, Daniel slipped and lost, but Speed didn't laugh or make fun of him. Daniel accepted the loss and didn't complain like Ashton always does. Later, Speed watched the race video and saw that Daniel really did slip. So to be fair, he ran good. The second race, Daniel tried his best. He ran with all his strength. Speed still won.
The girl turned the door lock and accidentally triggered a hidden mechanism. Red lights lit up on the ceiling. The bearded man joked that the setup was very simple. The man just down. He found the red lights were actually boys. The blonde suddenly remembered the newspaper. The same room caught fire last year. Only one person survived on the 6th. She had a bad feeling and knocked on the service window. But the reply was just a robot voice. The curly-haired guy tried to break the window, but the fire extinguisher was just plastic. He threw it on the ground in frustration, but that triggered another trap. The nearby pillars started to heat up, making a sizzling sound that scared everyone. While everyone panicked, only the girl stayed quiet and looked around. She found a key inside the fire extinguisher. It opened the service window, but behind it sat a plastic dummy holding a light. Everyone was shocked. That was just too creepy. Suddenly, the phone started ringing, and it scared everyone. The man in the suit gathered his courage and he opened it, but it was just a recorded game message telling them to follow the rules. He couldn't believe it and hung up angry. Then, another trap went off. Red heating pipes lit up all over the walls and the windows were sealed completely. The room's temperature started rising quickly, so things got even worse. Several fans poured on the walls and started blowing hot air into the room. The place felt like a giant air fryer. Everyone got scared and began looking for things. The blonde started to panic. The girl finally gave her a glass of water. That was her moment. When she took the cup back, she saw a sign on the wall that said the coach was free to use. Realizing it could be a clue, she quickly went to the coffee table. She pressed one of the coasters and a small opening slowly appeared in the wall. It looked like an escape tunnel, but once she let go, it closed again. This discovery made everyone excited. They rushed to clear off the table and found that there were exactly 6 coasters. When all 6 were pressed at the same time, the exit opened completely. The man in the suit went in first. The tunnel was pretty deep. He crawled to the end and saw an exit above it, but a metal fence blocked it. He needed a screwdriver to open it. The bearded man gave this coaster to the blonde and then to pass it. The room kept getting hotter. The plastic dummy was still steaming. Just when everyone was about to collapse, the man in the suit opened the fence. He and the bearded man climbed up on the blonde, but there was a problem. Someone had to hold the 6 buttons. How could the last 3 escape? The girl stayed calm. She told the 2 men to press all 6 buttons using both hands. The men were shaking from the effort, but her plan worked. Using the gun to hold one button, she also crawled into the tunnel. The 2 remaining men used the same method and filled glasses of water. But just as they were pouring the last cup, they found the water tank was empty. The blonde had drunk some earlier, and now there wasn't enough water. Seeing this, the 2 men got nervous and started playing with the blonde. The next second, a terrifying sound came from above. The ceiling shot out blazing blue flames. If they didn't leave now, he couldn't last. In that moment, the curly-haired man remembered the wine bottle in his pocket with the fire blasting from above. He quickly poured the wine into the last cup. Just before his hair caught fire, the cup pressed down below. The 2 men rushed into the tunnel. A second later, flames burst out, swallowing the whole
and biting in the tail.
Luckily, they ran
Not
past
to
it and waited
listen.
to move
What
on.
the hell?
The game was
Yes,
played.
it's black stuff.
Blonde wanted to call the police, but there was no signal.
Yeah, that's okay.
Why do parents act like they've never been kids before? My mom just called me sneaking snacks at 2 a.m. and acted like she just uncovered a problem. Why are you eating cookies in the dark?
So especially to get some
Go back to bed
happen.
and let me live my life. Did you hit me with the...
Ruin your appetite.
And I find nothing.
Second, I know you
What
used to do
the?
this too. Don't you get me started on
Using
that speeches.
We didn't have myself.
We played outside until the street lights came.
After that,
Also,
the
didn't have Wi-Fi, so I think I
that's
wrote
it. I'm cold.
they don't understand
It's
it.
nothing.
Why is the TV not on?
Oh!
Because you sat on the remote. How do I close this app? You had this phone for 5 years.
Figure it out.
That's
You
right.
man, I'm on my phone too much. Go outside.
Right.
Get
I'm
some fresh
going
air.
to-
Okay, but the second I step
Ooh.
outside, it's...
Where are you going? You will.
I've heard nothing.
Parents act like they were born as fully grown adults who love vegetables and early bedtimes. Stop brushing. Why do parents act...
Now I do.
Parents ever got
That was
because your
super
kids don't know. I was sitting on a bench
What?
on the playground watching my 6-year-old son Tyler play on the jungle gym when I noticed a girl about his age buying a plushie game.
Oh,
Tyler
this
played around with his favorite T-Rex toy on the bench beside me while he played.
That's
She
easy.
wandered over, her eyes fixed on
Wow.
me, and without saying a word, she
What
reached out and
looks
grabbed
so
it. I gently
lazy?
intercepted her hand and said,
That
"I'm
looks
sorry,
so
sweetie.
lazy.
That
That's
belongs to my
lazy.
son. He's just
What
playing
the
right now and will be
hell?
back to work soon." The girl's
Very
face immediately crumbled into the ground, and she
It
stomped her
looks
foot. "But I
so
want it,"
lazy.
she wailed
What
loudly.
that?
Before
I
could
used to
respond,
kill
the
someone
voice
young.
her mother rushed
And
over.
that's
"What's
what
going on?
dogs-
Why is Maddie crying?"
dogs
she demanded,
hate
glaring at
that.
me accusingly. I explained the
Like
situation.
power.
Her daughter was trying to take my son's toy, and I just told her it belongs to him. The mother's expression hardened. "It's just a stupid dinosaur toy. My daughter wants to play with it. No big deal. Let her have it for a while." I was taken aback by her attitude. "I'm sorry, but this is my son's favorite toy. We brought it specifically to have with him today." The woman rolled her eyes dramatically.
A
"Oh,
book.
come on. It's called sharing. Don't you teach your
Come
kids
on,
share?
let's
It's
stop
basic
that.
parenting."
I
Her
see
voice was getting
Cash
louder,
build up
and I
a
noticed
book.
other parents starting to
It's
look her
right.
way. "Of course I teach my son to share," I replied, trying to keep my voice level. "But this is his special toy, and he didn't offer to share it. I'm not going to force him to give up something important to him just because someone else wants it."
I should like it.
This is exactly what's wrong with kids these days. Parents like you raising selfish children who don't know how to share. And now my face's getting hot. Teaching boundaries isn't the same as teaching selfishness. I said early, my son has the right to decide what he wants to share and what he doesn't. By that point, Tyler had noticed the commotion and was running over to us, his face concerned. Mom, what's happening? He asked, eyeing Rex still sitting on the bench. The mother saw an opportunity. Hey there, she said, her voice suddenly syrupy sweet. My daughter Maddie really likes your dinosaur. Would you be a good boy and let her play with it for a while? Tyler looked at the girl, then at Rex, then back at the mother. I could see him struggling with wanting to please an adult, but also not wanting to part with his beloved toy. Before he could answer, the mother reached for Rex. See, he doesn't mind. Maddie can just borrow it for a minute. That's when Tyler spoke up. Actually, I do mind. He said,
I got a
Rex is special to me because my dad gave him to me right before he got to He told me Rex would protect me while he's gone fighting bad guys. I promised Dad I'd take good care of him until he was home. The playground went silent. The mother's hand froze mid-air, her face flushing with embarrassment. Her daughter, sensing the sudden tension, backed away slightly. Several nearby parents were now openly watching the scene unfold. The woman stuttered, I didn't know. Tyler wasn't finished. With the straightforward honesty only a child can muster, he added, my dad said it's okay to say no sometimes, even to grown-ups if something doesn't feel right, and giving away Rex doesn't feel right to me. The mother grabbed her daughter's hand without another word and hurried away to the other side of the playground. I pulled my son into a tight hug, immensely proud of how he'd stood up for himself and being respectful. You did good, buddy, I whispered. Dad would be really proud too. Has a parent ever heard this?
Six. That's not
What
about
the same
that's not very sad.
You thinking what I'm thinking? Stand too? Bro, your whole Instagram lately been getting me mad. You think COVID is your plan conspiracy fact, but I think it's time to give us some stats.
Okay, that's a murder. So what?
The school bus suddenly turned. Students were all confused. Seatbelts dropped down by themselves. The driver pulled down a control panel and charged straight toward a broken bridge. The bus plummeted rapidly. Students screamed in fear. Suddenly, the bus grew a pair of wings and flew toward a floating island. This was the biggest superhero ice. Each student had a unique power. This girl could freeze people instantly. This student could run faster than the wind. Another boy could stretch his body like nipples. The kids were all new to the school. They would go through an entrance test. The coach pointed at a skinny boy. The boy stepped up and took off his glasses. But the coach didn't believe it, so he threw a car at him. The boy caught it with ease. The coach was stunned and placed him directly into the hero class. The next boy's body turned into liquid. Unsurprisingly, he was placed into the sidekick class. The next group of students, some could turn into balls. Some had 8 arms. Another boy sat at the wall. But the student had a strong acid. He was immediately moved into the hero class. But it was the purple-haired girl's turn. She turned into a guinea pig. The coach was confused whether the color was useful. She was placed into the assistant class. Soon it was the boy's turn. In fact, it was the child of normal superheroes. His dad could defeat enemies with a single punch. His mom had advanced flying abilities. The awkward part was their son had no powers at all. To avoid disappointing his father, the boy pretended to lift weights. And just as his father walked in, he shouted 20,000. Later, he confessed everything to the coach, but the coach didn't believe him. He dropped a car on him. The boy nearly died. The coach thought he had inherited flight and launched him 100 meters away. The boy crashed into the ground and had no choice but to join the assistant class. The boy went to the school infirmary for treatment. The doctor scanned his body, then told him he would never have any superpowers in his